If your lordships want only the details of who purchased the bonds, we can give that straight away.
Mr. Salve, our judgment is dated 15th of February 2024.
Yes, ma'am.
We are now on the 11th of March.
Yes, ma'am.
In the last 26 days, what extent of matching has been done by you? What steps have you taken in the last 26 days? The application is absolutely silent on that.
We can put a detailed affidavit on that one,
No,
because I know
it should have been disclosed in the affidavit.
I agree, man. I agree.
State Bank of India, which is coming to us, we expect that there should be a degree of candor on the part of the State Bank of India. That this is what the work which we have done. The work is at this stage. We need an extension of time to carry out the balance of the exercise which remains.
I have full details of who purchased the bond, but that's put in one silo of information. I have full details of where the money came from, which is in a second silo. And I have a complete detail of which political party tendered how many bonds and who has been paid how much. That's a easy ask. That can be given straight away. The problem is, Manoj, I have to now put the name of the purchaser, which is in the first sealed packet, and these are all physically kept. They were not put into the banking system. Each form will have to be taken out, the name checked, that name now correlated to the payment detail, and the payment detail correlated to the bond, and finally that's where the bond number gets generated, and then we can connect as to which political party who has given that money.
Now, that's not been asked, Mr. Salve.
But Manoj, I have to give
direction to correlate it with the purchaser and the political party.
Manoj, para 76 does suggest that. Would your lordship just see it for a moment, if you know?
Don't go by what is suggested. Whatever you wanted to speak, we have spoken in black and white.
No, in that, Manoj, your lordships, please see that sentence. I'm not, Manoj, we have no desire at all to try and expand our own job, Manoj. Please see page 76. This by itself is creating difficulties. Manoj, your lordship say the detail shall include date of purchase of void bond, no problem. But the moment I have to give the detail of the name with the bond number, that is taking time, because we had deliberately put these in two silos. If your lordships want only the details of who purchased the bonds, we can give that straight away.
Mr. Salve, our judgment is dated 15th of February 2024.
Yes, ma'am.
We are now on the 11th of March.
Yes.
In the last 26 days, what extent of matching has been done by you? What steps have you taken in the last 26 days? The application is absolutely silent on that.
We can put a detailed affidavit on that one, because I know
it should have been disclosed in the affidavit.
I agree, man. I agree.
State Bank of India, which is coming to us, we expect that there should be a degree of candor on the part of the State Bank of India. That this is what the work which we have done. The work is at this stage. We need an extension of time to carry out the balance of the exercise which remains.
But we have sought to explain the problem, and the work is going on, because Manoj, each form, it'll have to be form by form.
Going on to what extent you have reached?
Manoj, work is going on form by form. They will, if your lordships want, I can give the exact detail of how many we have covered and how many more we can cover. But they did a rough calculation, Manoj. It will take about 3 months more. Because I'll tell Manoj my other concern. I have another big concern, Manoj. I cannot make a mistake in this. I'll get sued by the donor. I'll get sued by people, because I cannot by mistake say A got it when B had it.
Highest court of this country. So where is the question of you being sued?
I'm sorry, Manoj.
Whatever you are doing under the directions of the highest court of.
No, Manoj. If I make a mistake, if I say Mr. X got it instead of Mr. Y got it, in a hurry to give the numbers, I could create havoc there, Manoj, because ultimately.
As we take it, Mr. Salve, you are accepting that there's no difficulty in giving names of the donors who purchased the bonds and the amount they purchased the bonds. You have got no difficulty in giving details of the political parties who have purchased the particular bonds. The only difficulty is matching the purchased bond with that. But 26 days, you must have carried out at least some, say, 10,000 bonds you have been able to collate, 5,000 bonds you have been able to collate.
Quite frankly, what I saw, they were struggling with it. They were making charts which we saw were not matching. I'll tell Manoj what has happened. No, I'll tell Manoj candidly what has happened.
If I'm not mistaken, it was pointed out to us that the bonds had some number which under the which under some instrument they were able to.
Yes. But that number,
That's all has to be done.
that number is not to be found in the application for purchase or in the first set of documents. The problem is that number, when number was generated, that number has been scrambled and put elsewhere, and that number has been kept secret. Now, putting that will require tracing it into each transaction. At the stage of the interim order, and I'm saying what happened at that time. The kind of information which your lordship asked was a macro information. So that is no problem.
In pursuance of the interim order,
Yes.
Election Commission of India has filed, details before us.
Or whatever they have.
In separate silos, if we can use that expression.
Yes.
The ministry has placed that, in a secured custody with us. We'll direct them to open it here right now, because since we were deciding a point of constitutional validity, we didn't consider it necessary either during the course of the hearing or thereafter. So we can ask them to open it, and we'll ask the Election Commission of India to divulge whatever there is, and we'll ask SBI to then divulge what we have asked them to do.
Yes, we'll do it. We'll send it to
before us.
Your lordship.
Mr. Sharma, whatever has been placed by you before us, in compliance with the judgment, we will direct that to be open right now.
And your lordship directed us to give it to the ECI. So we'll give it to the ECI, or your lordship want us to file it directly in court? I think better through the ECI.
No, Mr. Salve, you comply with the order of the court.
To give it to the ECI.
Whatever ECI has placed in the court.
Already.
We will direct that to be open. We'll ask our court to make a copy of it, a digitized copy for the safekeeping of the court. And then we will return it back to the rest. We'll return it back to ECI for them to upload it on their website.
But what ECI has already, there's no problem. We will give to the ECI as in the time, if you're not to give us 3 months, we'll go and give it to the ECI. And they, as and when they get it, they can upload it. We want to make sure we get every bond number right, every donor right. Because this otherwise is going to create havoc. For today, for donors who come and say, this is not my bond, I did not purchase this, you put the wrong number on my bond, I did not give to so.
There's no question of that. Once he's given the KYC, he's given the details, you also have the application. The application will be having the amount.
No, I'm sorry, Marat. I'm sorry. My concern is he purchased bond number X. I by mistake, I put his number as purchasing bond number Y. Now, X may have gone to political party A, Y may have gone to political party B.
Why will that happen, Mr. Salve?
Because I'll tell Marat why. Because they haven't kept
number one bank in the country. We expect them to be able to handle this.
No, not expect to be handled. We were told make sure that this doesn't leak. So Marat, the way we stored the information, the bond number did not get into the core banking system. If we had been told keep information on this basis, we would have devised our systems accordingly. If we had kept it like that, any senior bank officer could have found out bond numbers and the whole thing would have been out in public domain. Who has how much, all these secrets.
Assistant General Manager files an affidavit in support of the application to the Supreme Court for modification and order of a constitution bench. It's a very serious matter when you ask for modification of an order.
I accept that. I accept that.
An Assistant General Manager files an affidavit and tells us that, look, I'm finding it difficult. The information is maintained in 2 silos.
No, he has filed the affidavit because he's the man in the spot. He's the person who has to do this job. He's the level at which the accounts are kept. We said you must have the person who knows what he's talking about. So, give us a little time, we'll do it. Ask for time.
So we'll dictate an order. We'll dictate an order because let us do it in the court itself instead of.
I wanted to just make one respectful suggestion.
Yes.
If your lordship sees para 221.
Yes.
If B and C are not to be matched, then we can give the information in 3 weeks. Let me explain how. If we, on one hand, is the person who purchased the electoral bond and the number of bonds he purchased, that in 2-3 weeks we can get all the figures. In the second, the bonds encashed by political parties, which includes the date of encashment and denomination. That details we have, that we can give. In 3 weeks, we'll put it all together.
You require 3 weeks for what, Mr. Salve?
These are all in because the accounts are separate, the payment has come separately and the name was kept separately. We'll marry the two and give it.
The political parties have already given the details of the encashments made by them.
Correct, Manoj. So that in any case is there. As far as B is concerned, we can
First
give it.
details also are already available with you.
I'm sorry, Manoj.
You've
Your
been
Worship.
working on, with regard to the purchasers, the donors and the details of amount they have purchased, these details are already available.
Yes, so that we can give, Manoj. We'll just put that figures together and